The Unfiltered by Jade.
Jade. Welcome to The Unfiltered by Jade, where we educate, empower, and entertain. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, download, donate, and make everybody know about this.
Beats by RB Records.
Shopping assistance, your style, your budget. Our services include online and local shopping for individuals and businesses, personal shopping, purchasing of company and office supplies, importing and exporting small packages across Jamaica and worldwide, and helping you find unique gifts and items for all events and occasions. Contact us at 876-919-5195 or shoppingassistance2015@gmail.com. Shopping Assistance, your style, your budget.
How do you use Zencastr? If you have thought about podcasting before and realized that you need a lot of different tools and services, those days are over. With Zencastr's all-in-one podcasting platform, you can create podcasts all in one place and distribute to Spotify, Apple, and other major destinations. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use my code Unfiltered10 and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. I want you to have the same easy experiences I do for my podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. Sun and Swell Foods is the nation's first online plastic-free grocery store. Shop their assortment of delicious, healthy foods in plastic-free, compostable packaging. They are delicious, 100% plant-based, 100% gluten-free, 100% real foods, no added preservatives or ingredients. Come in compostable packaging. If you are looking for a more planet-friendly pantry, shop Sun and Swell and get 20% off site-wide when you go to sunandswellfoods.com and use promo code Unfiltered10 at checkout. That's 20% off your entire order when you use Unfiltered10 at sunandswellfoods.com. Welcome back to The Unfiltered by Jade. Today we have with us here Linda Plunkett. And she is an author, an ordained minister. She has a PhD in biblical psychology, and she is a speaker. Today, we're going to speak on the topic fibromyalgia. And that is something that she has experience with, and she's going to be able to tell us a little bit about it. And how is it that we can find resources and support for people out there with this. So, hi, Linda, how are you?
Great. How are you, Jade?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for asking.
Great.
I'm excited to have you on the show today.
Well, thank you so much. I'm excited to be on your show. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Yes. So we're going to jump into it, Linda. Can you explain to us what fibromyalgia is and what are some of the key symptoms for this?
Yes. I want to tell your audience that, first of all, I'm not a medical doctor. I do have a PhD in psychology. And so the definition that I use is primarily from my own experience. I wrote 2 books, and when I was researching the books, one of them this year in 2023, doctors cannot agree to what fibromyalgia is. So it's something a little bit different for everybody. But in my case, in my experience, it's when you have pain throughout your body, primarily the result of maybe a surgery or a head injury or a trauma to the head. And the people that I speak with basically confirm that the root of their fibromyalgia has come from something similar to that. But the most difficult part of it is it tends to flare up, and many times there's no medication that will help. At one point, I was given a medication. It worked for 3 months, and then it didn't work anymore. So basically, again, the worst part is the pain and the unpredictability of the pain. But for me and many people who have severe fibromyalgia, it also results in lack of sleep. And when you have pain all over your body and you don't sleep, it is very devastating.
Yes, it is.
And unfortunately, I had a brain tumor, as recorded in my first book, Supernatural Rescue, back. This was 2012. And I had a surgery after that. And when I went to several medical institutions after the brain surgery, asking for help because I was having pain, I was having a lot of issues, they basically told me there's nothing we can do for you. And many people are not finding, unfortunately, long-term help from traditional medicine. And many of us have had to go to either alternative medicine or doing things completely unexpected to treat our fibromyalgia pain.
That's really difficult, though. Especially when the pain is consistent and won't stop, and there's nothing that can help in that regards.
Well, and the thing that's very frightening, and this past year, I wrote my second book, Living in a Positive World. Basically, this book, trying to be positive while living in a negative world. This book was basically a gift to people who said to me, Linda, what are you doing? How are you doing so well? And what can we do? Because many other people are suffering. But living a positive life in a negative world was very difficult for me to write. And literally, there were many tears shed because I relived the pain, the pain not only in my body, but through my soul and my spirit that came as a result of trying to find solutions and to feel better. And it is a very devastating type of pain. Some of the groups I've spoken to, one in particular, a cancer survivor group in Orlando, this has been a couple years ago, people came up to me after the talk and said, Linda, we've never been through anything like you've been through. But to me, what differentiates fibromyalgia sometimes from other chronic pain syndromes is that it's very relentless. And there again, it just challenges your whole body, soul, and spirit to the point that you want to give up. And I am very thankful that I had faith that kept me going, but it was not easy. And having said that, I even had issues with God that I had to deal with because the pain and suffering went on for so many years.
That's difficult.
And the fact that there's no cure, those of us, we need to know what we need to do to try to deal with it, because typically there's no cure for it. And so how can we live with it and still have a quality life and manage it to the point that, yes, we can get some relief sometimes and that we can get some sleep, but it's not difficult and has taken me a number of years to find answers. But the great news is I'm finding new answers all the time. And because of that, I have been able to handle my own fibromyalgia much better this past year.
Nice. I'm happy to hear that. What are some of the common misconceptions about fibromyalgia, and how can we address them?
Well, it is very difficult because of the fact that medical doctors do not seem to agree. And I was shocked researching my current book when I found the same information. Doctors are not agreeing. Now, I will tell you, the thing that I found amazing in this past year, and this was not in my most recent book, this is new information, but I went to an acupuncturist on the ship and got tremendous improvement from acupuncture, but she also was able to give me Chinese herbs, many of which are not readily available by people in the United States.
Right.
But having said that, she had 9 different prescriptions for fibromyalgia. So it was very obvious to me that Oriental medicine, Chinese medicine, as you would call it, they have a better understanding of fibromyalgia than most doctors, I would say, here in the US. But I have gotten a lot of relief from that. And for whatever reason, the knowledge is not out there. In my book, I tried to talk about diet and inflammation and exercise and managing your own health, all of which are very, very important. But I think we all need to come together, those of us that are suffering, and share our information, because there again, there's not a lot of people advertising cures for fibromyalgia.
True.
mainly because it at this point, it just doesn't exist. We have to manage it. We have to find things we can do to improve it and to live with it without giving up. It's very sad because there are people in the world that just give up. And I am thankful there again, even though I've been challenged with issues with my own faith and my own spirituality, I still feel my connection with God gives me an extra dimension to living with this situation.
Hmm. Linda, I mean, the other question I wanted to ask are the treatments, but as you said, in the USA, there's not much treatments because, as you said, it really doesn't exist. I mean, I don't know. Thinking about it, without treatments, how is it then that persons can manage their symptoms? Because if they don't have the right resources, what is going to happen?
Well, and some people will very sadly give up. And I
Yeah.
was doing some book signings a couple months ago, and a lady that I was signing her book, she said, Linda, 2 people on my street have taken their own lives in the last 6 months. And I was shocked. But the message I'm trying to give people is whatever you do not give up. And that's really the theme of my book. Even in all the negativity and all the pain, do not give up, because there are answers and we can help each other, but it may not be through traditional medicine. And we may have to look beyond that for answers, and even doing your own research. Not all the information on the internet is correct. Having said that, there is information. If you can find information that's validated by other researchers and other people in the field, we can come together and find things that, yes, they may help you. So it's important to try to persevere and to keep going no matter what, knowing that you very well may find some positive answers, but it may not be, unfortunately, with your family medical doctor.
Oh, man. Linda, can you just share with us your story? How is it that you found out you had the fibromyalgia? What took place? How is it that you dealt with it at the time? Did you have the support?
Well, this was basically within the first year after my brain surgery. There again, that was documented in my first book, Supernatural Rescue. But I really had a hard time. And after my brain surgery, could not get help. A major medical institution said, there's nothing we can do for you. I was having major pain. I couldn't walk. I couldn't work. And my elderly father, who was living in Ohio, he needed some help. And I thought, well, maybe I can go help my dad. But I was starting to feel symptoms of fibromyalgia, to the point, there again, the pain, the lack of sleep issues. And when you don't sleep, sometimes any little thing can push you over the edge. But
yes,
I was helping my father up in Ohio. And this was kind of another supernatural thing that happened. But I just was not feeling well because I wasn't sleeping. I was having pain. I was helping my dad do something in the kitchen regarding an electrical appliance. I got this terrible shock in my body. And I literally ran out into the garage, shut the door, and cried out to God, God, why am I alive? Because at that point, it seemed so hopeless. But the pain was just so much, and I didn't know how to deal with it. And that night, I had a vision, a supernatural vision. And I realized not everyone may believe in that. However, it happened to me. A blue light came through the ceiling. And I believe the figure on the other side was there to give me hope that I was going to make it and I was going to be okay. But initially, doctors tried to prescribe a medication for 3 months. It did not work. The end of the first book, I had hope. Maybe that medication would manage the pain, but unfortunately, it did not do so long term. And that's when I started to have to do my own research to try to figure out how I might feel better. It was extremely stressful, extremely, I don't know, feeling of being very alone, because when people don't give you information, and at that point, like now, I do know people and I meet people on a regular basis when I do my book signings who are going through, and they may not call it fibromyalgia, but it's chronic pain. Okay. And they're not able to deal with their pain issues. And that's the commonality, and, causing sleep problems and other problems. Many people, what I tell people, if you read the new book, if you read the book, Living in a Positive World, my newest book, if you really go through that book and you read that book, there will be things that maybe coincide with your situation, maybe not everything. However, having said that, those of us who've gone through very deep pain and suffering, we reach a place that not everyone reaches. And so not everyone will understand that level where you're not sure you can make it, and that you're not sure if you want to live, and that's.
Hyper-modern sculptures by G.F. Von Hauerland are a fusion of science fiction and paleontology. Looking for a unique and captivating piece to add a touch of science fiction vibe to your living space? Look no further than the Hermit Cardium, a natural artifact sculpture that will surely become the centerpiece of any space. Crafted with a seamless blend of contemporary design, science fiction vibe, and a nod to paleontology, this outstanding modern table sculpture is made of steel and calcium, creating an awe-inspiring piece that will leave your guests in awe. Dive into the world of the Hermit Cardium and discover why it is becoming a must-have for modern art enthusiasts. Find out more at vonhauerland.com. That's VONHAUERLAND.com. A link will be provided in this episode's description.
It's a very hard place to be. And like I said, with my faith, I think even though I had issues with God, my faith kind of kept me at a place that I still felt there was hope and that I would find improvement and that I would get better. And thankfully, it's taken a long time, but that has happened.
Did you have the support system that you needed to get well?
Well, yes and no. Yes and no. And this is something that there again, other people tell me the same thing happens to them. Even when I was diagnosed with the brain tumor initially, when you are sick and you are chronically ill, people, I hate to say this, but people will walk away from you. Yes, thankfully, I had my family. I had my sons, my husband, certain other people who were very close. But shockingly, people who I considered friends walked away.
Wow.
And I said later, why? Why did you walk away? Well, we didn't know what to do. But, I would like to tell your audience out there, if you know someone who is ill and you don't understand what they're going through, please don't walk away. Please just try to walk alongside of them the best you can, even if you don't understand. But, the worst thing is to feel rejection by people when you're extremely ill.
Wow. Well, that's important. That's very, very important. It's sad to say, though, that people walk away during this time, but it happens.
It does happen. It does. And there again, I'm not alone in that story. I've talked to many people. And in fact, this past week, I did a book signing at Barnes & Noble in Greenville. And a young lady came up to me and she says, I have no friends. They've all left.
Wow.
And I was shocked that she has no friends. She has one caregiver who she's losing her vision as well, which has to be devastating. But she has one person who's a caregiver who's helping her. And everybody's walked away. And I said to her, I will be your friend if you need a friend, if you need someone to talk to, either online or maybe we can meet from time to time. But, I will be there because I know what it's like when people walk away. And in her case, not having any friends, it's got to be very devastating for her.
Wow. I'm really saddened to know that that's what's happening. The truth is, as I said, it's non-existent to people. So when people hear about it, they don't know what to do. But right. I mean, we can, as I said, there's information on the internet, but there can be information that's true or not true, misleading information.
Well, and it can be. It can be. And that's why I wanted to document what I had found in the book, because this is, like I said, personal experience. Although I have a PhD in psychology, I want to repeat, I'm not a medical doctor,
right? But
I have found things that have helped and may help people in various situations. And some help is better than no help
true.
At all.
Very, very true. Very true. Linda, can you tell our audience, where is it that we can find your books? And if it is that there are people out there who don't know how to support family members or friends, how can they do so?
Well, the second part of your question, let me answer the first part first, because the second part is a little more complicated about the support and how to support. But if you go to my website, which is lindaplunkett.com, and there again, that's LINDAS like Sue, Plunkett, theunfilteredbygade.com. There's a number of types of information on there and numerous talks. And some of this might help as well as far as support. But the new book that's come out this year, and I do apologize because I'm happy for myself and that people are buying it, but normally you can get it quickly on Amazon. When I went on Amazon, it was back ordered. But you should be able to get delivery on Amazon. It takes maybe a week. Your other choice would be to go to Barnes and Noble or your local bookstore and have them order it. But hopefully you can get a copy within a week at the most. That's probably the best way to get the book right now. As far as support, how do you support others? Okay, that could be probably a talk in itself.
Okay.
But I would say, if nothing else, if say you're very dismayed and you don't know what to do, because people said, we walked away from you because we didn't know what to do. You can do a couple of different things. You can still care about them and love them unconditionally without offering solutions. People think, well, I have to give an answer. I have to give a solution. I don't have any idea what to do. Sometimes it's not a matter of what you know to do, but it's a matter of walking alongside them. If you're not local, you could send them a card or an email or call them on the phone and just say, be honest, say, I don't know what you may need or how to help you, but I want to let you know I am there for you.
Yes.
That's very important to give them that message, because walking away and getting out of touch will give them the opposite message that you do not care.
Mm-hmm.
And believe me, that is very hurtful.
Yes.
And maybe you don't mean to give that message, but by walking away and not standing with that person, that is the message that they're going to feel that they have received from you. So support could just be something very small. If you're able to do things to help them, by all means, ask them, do you need something? Can I pick up something at the store? What can I do for you? Is there anything I can do for you? Ask them that question. If you're local and you're able to support them, there again, it's the small things. It's showing you care in whatever way that you're able to do that. But it is important. This is the first time in my life that I really experienced very serious medical issues from the time of the brain surgery to then the fibromyalgia, which I've been dealing with. Because now I travel and I talk to many people, I'm able to bring people together. And for me, I'm exploring right now, like, what else can I do besides what you would find on my webpage and these types of podcasts. And I thank you very much for having me on today, because awareness is very important. People need to become more aware about what other people are going through.
Yes.
But, I'm thinking, how can I bring more people together? Maybe at some point I will be able to figure that out exactly in my travels, if there's something else I can do personally. But I think each person, if you're a caring person, just explore your own capabilities, and anything small that you can do is better than nothing at all.
Love that. Linda, where is it that we can find you if people want to connect with you, have conversations with you, or have sessions with you? Where can we find you?
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to say for 20 years, I had a private practice. And if you need a therapist per se, I would recommend you find someone in your area. By therapist, I mean someone that you need to meet with maybe 3 to 6 months because you're working on one particular issue. If you just want to reach out for a single conversation, you're more than welcome to email me. Please put something in the message line referring to this program. That would be very helpful.
Okay.
And just say, Linda, can we talk via email? If I have time in the schedule, I may be able to have a phone conversation, but I can't always guarantee that, because my schedule, like this past week, I had a book signing, and this is my second podcast, and then I have other obligations as well. So I apologize. I can't promise you I can have a face-to-face conversation. What I can say, if you have a group that you would like for me to come and speak and possibly bring copies of books, the initial book, Supernatural Rescue, is out of publication. However, I do have copies that I can carry with me.
Okay.
But if you want a book signing, if you want if you need a speaker, please put that in the line of your email as well. And I do try to look in my spam folder from time to time because unfortunately, every so often I lose messages. And I do try to keep up the best I can. But my email is hopeforhurting@aol.com, and I'll spell that out for the listeners. It's HOPEFORHURTING@AOL.com. And you can email me at that address. I would say that's probably the best way for people to reach me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Linda. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with fibromyalgia. And thank you so much for even being vulnerable in terms of things that has happened going through this. And, there's times when people say, boy, we don't have much information on these things. And as I said, it's if they don't speak up much about it, it's really not out there.
Right.
So thank you for opening the door to have
You're
this,
very welcome.
this conversation. I think it's very important. And I think we as supporters need to learn how to support much better in terms of for people. It doesn't matter what their illness is. We can do a little bit better in how we support.
Yes. Yeah. And I think we all, we need to do self-examination, all of us, and say, who do I know? And those of us that are spiritual, we can pray, and prayer is a good thing. But
yes,
the other part of that is to show them by our communication that we care about them and we're there for them. That is very important as well.
Yes. Thank you so much. And I want to say thank you so much to our listeners on the Unfiltered by Jade. And we'll be back next week, Tuesday. Thank you.